Welcoming you to a life of awareness, the Presence Project is excited for you to join us for today's podcast with your host, Paul Kerzner.
Hello and welcome to episode 62 of Are You Being Present? My name is Paul Kerzner. I want to welcome you to the present moment. I want to welcome you to the here and now. And I want to thank you wholeheartedly, sincerely, and deeply for joining me in this unique and unprecedented present moment. The title and topic for today's podcast is Exhibiting Courage in the Present Moment. And I wanted to take some time to address courage and why it is so vital in this present moment and all present moments, but specifically for this turn of events. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and everyone is impacted. Not a single person, not a single thing will go unchanged. And in some ways, it seems appropriate. And in other ways, I know it can appear tragic. But the way that will alleviate the most amount of suffering is with presence and subsequently with acceptance. So why do I want to talk about courage? Courage, like presence, is vital. It's important. It's a behavior. It's a perspective. It is to be used carefully and methodically to help you get through challenging times, to help you get through difficult times, to help you get through all times. And there will be moments where it will be more difficult to be courageous than others, but I can think of no better time in our lives than in this present moment to muster the courage up, to continue to move forward. I know that this is probably one of the toughest times that most people, many of you, can think of. Our lives have been disrupted by a virus that is invisible, that is pervasive, and that, in my opinion, will be everywhere at some point, if not already. And being present will allow you to get a really good glimpse, to obtain the clarity that you need to see your way through these challenging times. I'm not here to paint a rosy picture for you, and I'm also not here to create a dystopian future or even a dystopian present. I'm here as a reminder to tell you and to ask you to be present, to focus on what's unfolding in front of your face, to not get sucked into the panic. And it is so easy to get caught up in that mindset. It takes true courage not to fall into a panic state of being. And look, I understand personally, clinically, professionally, how easy panic is, how visceral it feels, the mindset, all the different experiences within our body when we panic. But you have to stay grounded and present, because there's only so much that you can do, and there's only so much I can do. Yes, it is vital to be accepting of what's taking place right now, and to do our very best to adhere to the guidelines and suggestions that are being made, but to not get ahead of ourselves. No one knows what is in store in the future at all. Those are all projections. And yes, a lot of them are projections based on data, and I'm not asking you to discount that. But the only thing that we know for sure, the only thing that you can fully bank on, is what's unfolding in front of your face. And to be courageous when greeting whatever's being presented to you. Because there will be peaks and valleys through this experience. There is no doubt. There already has been. No one can say how long this is going to last. No one knew how quickly our lives could be disrupted. And it really gives us a good glimpse into the fragility of our reality. How quickly things can shift in one way or the other. And I know how upsetting that could be, because it's very hard to have our routines shifted. Because a lot of us, and myself included, depend upon our routines. We enjoy them. We like doing things that we know that feels safe to us. But it takes true courage to be okay with having your routine shifted. It takes true courage to be present in the face of adversity. It takes true courage to be okay and to be still while panic takes place. And it will come in waves, there is no doubt. That is why it is so imperative for all of us to use our tools, to stay focused on what's really important, to be present throughout the peaks and valleys of this experience or any experience, and that takes true courage. And for you and me to exhibit true courage, we have to be present. We have to gain that clarity. We have to remember that the only thing that really matters, the only thing that we have any effect over, any influence, is the present moment, and we must greet it the right way. So when things are presented to you, remember to greet it in a way that is accepting regardless of however it makes you feel. No matter what your ego tells you, be present. Don't get sucked into the panic, into the fear, into the frustration, into the anger. Those will all get you looped into a cycle that will take you out of the present moment. It takes true courage to experience all those different emotions and still stay grounded and still be present. To remember that you are okay. To remember that nothing lasts. Nothing is permanent. This is one moment in time and it will pass. There is no doubt. Yes, this is an apex moment. Humanity has faced many, many apex moments, and humanity has gotten through it. Like you and I will get through it. Yes, there will be some disruptions. And yes, there will be some suffering. But it will not last. It will pass. And that cliche, this too shall pass, it is true. And it is a reminder of the impermanence of our lives. And that's why gratitude is so important for the things that we have, for the people that we love, for the places that we're at, for the work we're doing. There is no doubt that this is a difficult and challenging moment for everyone involved. No one is excluded, but everyone should do their best to be present, to stay focused, to ground themselves out, to use your tools, whatever they are. But remember, using your tools in the morning is the best time. Before you get out of bed, before you grind your day up, before you read the news, before you start talking to other people. Use your tools, use your presence tools, create that mindfulness practice, do a guided meditation, listen to some binaural beats, journal, whatever it takes for you to calm your mind, to still yourself. Please do this in the morning so that as you go throughout your day, you will be able to work your way back. Because all of us, no one is excluded, will have a lot more time on our hands for the foreseeable future. And what a great exercise it will be to really implement those tools, to really watch your mind, to ask yourself, as you go throughout your day and your life, am I being present? Do these thoughts have anything to do with the present moment? This takes true courage. It will be challenging for many of us to keep pulling ourselves back to the present moment, but there is no better time in our lives than now. And if you can take a step back and just watch how things are unfolding. And I know that's difficult. I know it's challenging. But if you could take a step back and see yourself and see how you're interacting and watch your emotions and watch your thoughts, this time in our lives will be easier. It's not going to be easy. I understand that. From a variety of different perspectives and perceptions. And it's not designed to be easy. But using presence is medicine. It will make this experience, this time, easier to handle. Courage is imperative at this point for all of us. No matter what your role is, no matter where you are on earth, be courageous. See things for what they are. Talk to yourself. Parent yourself. Watch that voice in your head. The ego will be so easy to trigger us into a different state of being that's not helpful. And we've talked about watching and interacting with the voice in your head. Now is an extremely important time for you to do so. And that takes courage as well. Because the ego would love for you to be put in automatic, for you to enter into a fear state, for you to be panicked, and to make decisions based on that. Do not listen to your ego. It will steer you in the wrong direction. It will encourage you to feel panicked. It will create a dystopian future in your head that is only real to you. It is not real to anyone else. No one knows what's going to happen in the future. All we can deal with is what is unfolding in front of our face. And yes, what's unfolding in front of our faces is challenging. There is no question about it. But be courageous to obtain the clarity that you need to take care of the things that you can take care of, the things that are under your influence. Remember that none of us have control. We can't control this. We can't control this virus. We're doing our best to slow it down. But it is showing us, it is teaching us that control is an illusion. And again, that takes courage to accept. And you're going to have all these opportunities over the next few days, weeks, and months to be courageous, to be present, to be still, to allow things to unfold, to not allow your ego mind to trick you and convince you that this is going to go on forever. It will not. The beauty of presence is that there's a clear understanding that nothing lasts. And that should be your mantra. It is a beautiful one at that. But you have to find out what the right mantras are for you. And even if you use the mantra, I'm okay, that would be enough. Because you are okay. Regardless of your situation in this present moment, we are all going to be okay in some way, shape, or form. Because there are eventualities for all of us. How we get there and how we feel about it, that is subjective. It is up to you. It is based on your perceptions and your perspectives of how things are in your moments. That is why being present is so important, because you can observe these things without getting caught up in these things. Yes, in the immediacy of this situation, there was a lot of panic, and people made a lot of decisions based on panic, and they will continue to do so. But I am imploring you to change your mindset, to remember how important presence is in a situation, in a time like this. This is a unique moment in human history, and it will be defined by how we behave as a collective, how present we are, how well we work together, and how we can really do our best to not panic, to not live in a fear-based mentality, to remember that all is unfolding exactly how it should, and all will be okay. I hope and wish the best for everyone listening to this podcast. I wish for this experience to shift and change and grow for the betterment of humanity. I wish for you all to use your tools on a daily basis, sometimes on a moment-by-moment basis, because presence is medicine, and it will help calm your mind. But if you allow yourself to get triggered, if you allow yourself to stay in a panic, your body will stay in fight or flight. The sympathetic nervous system will stay engaged. You will release cortisol throughout your system, which releases inflammation systemically all throughout your body, and that will weaken your immune system. That is the very last thing you want to do to yourself right now. It is imperative that you do everything to keep your immune system running high, and presence can help you with that, because it'll alleviate the self-inflicted suffering that will take place at the hands of an unguarded mind, at the hands of an ego that will run amok and support you in a panic state. So, I'm going to ask you again, please join me in the present moment. Do your work. Remember that this won't last, that we will get through this, that life will be different, and it's supposed to be different. Things are changing, and we need to wake up to that fact. So listen to my podcast on acceptance, because acceptance will help you get through these moments, because these things are happening, and there's no way to avoid it. We have to trust that things are unfolding as they should. We have to be present. I wish you well. I wish you luck. And I wish more than anything that you can be courageous throughout each and every present moment.
Thank you for listening to the Are You Being Present podcast, brought to you by the Presence Projects. Remember, you have a choice. Choose to be present.